Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Next Up. We're going to continue with part 2 of chemical awareness, unnatural substances in our foods. And of course, they're not just in our foods, they're in our water, they're in our clothing. And I am stating documents such as 1967, a document from Planned Parenthood to the Population Council, where it was said that they would put fertility control substances in the water supply. Now, is it in all waters? I dare say not. I don't think so. But I'm just sharing something that we need to be conscious of and aware of. As I said last time, we need to, as best we can, check out everything before we let it in here or on here. Check it out, all right? So we can make informed decisions on about what we let in our homes. And I also mentioned to you last time that I was in Virginia some years ago teaching a seminar, a health seminar, and one of the department leads for a very prestigious university said to me, Dr. Ellison, make sure you also tell the people to wash their new clothes before they wear them, because we understand greatly chemicals that are in the clothing that can cause various abnormalities on the body or in the body. So that made me think very heavily about what I wear, right? And make sure that I wash my new items before I put them on. All right? I mentioned to you last time something worth mentioning again when it comes down to substances in our awareness of what we're putting in our mouths or on our bodies. If the item comes in a can, a box, a package, or a bag, or if it simply has a label, read the label. Know what you're bringing in. By federal guidelines, usually they have to put what the ingredients are. Do you know what azadirachtin is? Atrazine. Do you know what bisphenol A is? I'm giving you a homework assignment to research these items. But these items have been in our food supply. Azadirachtin was, hear me now, was in Subway's 9-grain bread until they took it out some years ago, looks like somewhere around 15 or more years ago. How do you know that, Dr. Ellison? Because I saw the national commercial where they said they were taking out the azadirachtin, and I believe it was the trans fats as well. Thank God that they took it out. We didn't know it was in there. What else do we not know is in our food supply? Well, I'm giving you some of those things, and I'm going to go back through or attempt to get further in my list of things I want you to be aware of that's in the food today. And this is one of the reasons, this is one of the campaigns, should I say, that RFK Jr. has been on to awaken the American public, to make sure that we are informed on these items that are in our food and get some of these things out. Because, again, as I said, you and I are chemical factories. Whatever you put in is a chemical. That apple is made up of chemistry. That banana, that burger, that is an eternal burger. You know, the eternal burgers are the ones that last forever. You know, it's ridiculous that somebody say, I found a burger in my coat pocket from 5 years ago. It's ridiculous from 5 months ago. It's ridiculous from 5 weeks ago, something that is still kept together after 5 weeks. 5 days is a stretch, but 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years, and beyond, this is what people have found out. All right. So if you're wondering why talk on some of this or talk on this stuff about chemicals in the food, because we need to know. Nothing just happens. You don't just get cancer. You don't just get heart disease. Sickness and diseases, they are not things that strike us like a rattlesnake. No, they are things that are developed over a period of time because we made the environment hospitable. All right, let's get to my list. Let me get my screen up here. Let's get back to that list of items. All right, let's see, where did I leave it at? So that we can see for ourselves some of the stuff that is in the food supply right to this very day. Oh, yeah. You're going to see this in just a moment if I can find it here. Just had it a few moments ago. So bear with me. Okay. Here we go. I believe I've got it here. Here we go. All right. Last time we stopped with high fructose corn syrup, HFCS. And you'll see some of the things right here that it was in, or that it still is in, that we want to do everything we can to avoid. Now I'm working to get my arrow, my up and down arrow moving, so bear with me here. Come back here. All right, here we go. Okay, so last time we stopped with high fructose corn syrup. We're going to move, well, no, we didn't finish high fructose corn syrup, so let's delve back into it. All right, now, look at the PowerPoint here. Follow me, stay with me. This is some good, informative stuff. Reasons why we should avoid high fructose corn syrup. All right, A, it travels straight to the liver where it is metabolized to be fat. Straight to the liver. It contributes to the development of diabetes and tissue damage. It contains no enzymes, vitamins, or minerals. Instead, it takes micronutrients from the body. Think about that. Contains no enzymes. And I look at enzymes like the spark plugs in a car. They are these life-producing mechanisms. No enzymes, no vitamins or minerals. Instead, they take the micronutrients from the body. Increases your triglyceride or your bad cholesterol level. And we wonder at times why we struggle to get the cholesterol level down, the bad cholesterol. Could this not be a reason why? High fructose corn syrup. It also is almost always made from genetically modified corn. God never intended the human body to ingest anything that has been altered by man. Genetically, we're talking about getting into the genetics of an item. In this case, corn. It is almost always made from genetically altered, genetically modified corn. Good people, beware of anything that has been genetically modified. The corn is not the only. You got genetically modified wheat, You've got genetically modified soy, which is a big one, dear God. And now we look at genetically modified corn, and there are other items too. Maybe one day we'll talk about a list of those items that are genetically modified, again, so that we can be aware and we can make informed decisions about what we're bringing in. F, it is corn-based products, or let me say it like this, corn-based products such as high fructose corn syrup have been shown to increase osteoporosis, tooth decay, anemia, and osteoarthritis. I think these are reasons enough to be aware of and not ingest high fructose corn syrup. Let's go to the next one. What is this next? MSG, monosodium glutamate. Monosodium glutamate and free glutamates are used to enhance flavor in about 80% of processed foods. All right? Raymond Francis, Master of Science at MIT, here's what he said. It is a petroleum-based chemical food additive. Note that, petroleum. Since when did Almighty God design the body for a need or a place for petroleum in the body? It's not a part of our chemical makeup. And as I said last time, or times before, if the chemical makeup of what you put in your body, particularly on a regular basis, does not match the chemical makeup of your body, take it to the bank, you're going to have problems. It's going to happen. If you put water where the gas is supposed to be in your vehicle, you're going to have problems. Why? Because it wasn't designed for those chemicals to mix. Now, they have their place. The water has its place in its flow and operation, the gas, and so forth with the oil as well. But when you start mixing those guys, when you and I start mixing stuff that man has produced in a God-designed body, there's going to be problems. He went on to say, it excites your brain cells to death. Dear God, it's like the car parked out there in the yard. It's cranked. You've got your foot on the accelerator and pressing further and further down. You're gonna burn that engine up. You know, this is what's happening. It's got our brain cells, at high speed. He went on to say, we're talking about Raymond Francis. He went on to say, high fructose corn syrup can be hidden behind over 50 different names. This is why I'm an advocate for shopping, if necessary, until we learn these things with my smartphone. I have an app, I mentioned it to you last time, called the Yuka app. You can download it to your phone, and if you got a question on an item, pull out that Yuka app, scan that barcode, and let the app tell you the quality of the food item you are about to purchase. Think about that. It's hidden behind over 50 different names. Monosodium glutamate. Now, one thing that I do remember about it is its effects on the brain and many other parts of the body. But I definitely remember the part of the fact that it affects the brain. It's not natural. It's a man-made chemical, and we've definitely got to be aware of it. Fluoride. We've all heard of fluoride for years. Fluoride increases cancer rates by 10%, causes bone fractures, interrupts reproductive processes, causing infertility, in toothpaste and in water, and some people will argue about it. Okay, but is it natural? Is it what God created? Or is it something to appease or to appeal to our senses to get us to buy a particular item? It's in dental products, including 95% of toothpaste. Now, I'm just quoting the data that I researched. In processed beverages and foods, pesticides, Teflon pans. I don't want anything in my body that's in a Teflon pan. Mechanically deboned meats. Do you want that with what you're learning in or on your body? I don't think so. Let's look at the next one. Oh my God. Aluminum has been found to contribute to dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Look it up for yourself. In cake mixes, deodorants. I used to rub those deodorants with the aluminum in it under my arm and had knots growing. And I've heard of a lot of people the same thing. Anytime, again, we put something unnatural on or in our bodies, there's going to be some adverse results. It's in processed cheeses. It's what makes the cheese run so smoothly. It's in table salt, baking powders, non-dairy creamers, some donuts and waffles. This is why I say again, read the labels, dear people. BPA, known as bisphenol A. And I just mentioned that one to you a few moments ago. All right, so I'm giving you the understanding of what some of those items that I just mentioned to you are about. It is in plastic bottles, the lining of canned foods. How do you know that, Dr. Ellison? Just look at some of the canned foods that are in our supermarkets. Some of them literally say BPA free. Well, why doesn't all of them say BPA free? Because some of them are not BPA free. We need to be aware. Now it also used to be in babies' milk bottles until, thank God, we had people who advocated for it getting out. So to my knowledge, it's no longer in the milk bottles of babies. BPA free can also be found in just about all plastics. All you got to do is turn that plastic item over. Usually on at least most of the ones that I have seen, there is a number under the bottom of that plastic from like 1 to 7, I believe. Those numbers are not coincidentally there. They were put there for a reason. Those numbers tell you how toxic that particular item is with BPA, bisphenol A, or BPA, all right? What does it do? It is a synthetic estrogen that hyperfeminizes women and has been said to feminize men. Now listen, you're going to have some people argue this. Okay, no problem. But what does the research say? The unbiased research, and this is why I gave you sites to where you can go and look this stuff up for yourself, and you'll probably find some sites that I didn't even find. All right? Causes diabetes, obesity, cancer, erectile dysfunction, heart disease, infertility, reproductive issues, behavioral changes in children, to name a few. Did you know that BPA was in your plastics? Did you know this information? Atrazine is another one that I mentioned to you earlier. A herbicide and pesticide banned in the European Union, but most commonly The most commonly used substance, whoa, in the American water supply across the Midwest and Southern United States. Remember, I mentioned that, and I've got to find that document I found that was sent from Planned Parenthood that was founded by Margaret Sanger, who was a racist and a eugenist, who partnered up her organization with the Population Council that was determined to control the population in this country. And no doubt around the world too, because people don't just, their ideas, they tend to spread. Planned Parenthood partnered with the Population Council to control the population. So in this document, items like atrazine and I forgot the other one, was put in our water supply to control the population. It is an endocrine disruptor, impairing the immune system and is associated, with birth defects. This was found from the Natural Resources Defense Council. Look it up, good people, for yourself. But we need to be aware of this stuff. Oh my God. Sodium benzoate, a preservative used to prevent food from molding. Remember, real food will spoil. Cut an apple open, a banana, or anything real, it'll spoil after a certain period of time. Sodium benzoate has been found in lemonade, Kool-Aid, pickles, soy sauce, jams, salad dressings. When mixed with vitamin C, it transforms into benzene, a known carcinogen and DNA damager. Some studies have shown that sodium benzoate, along with, please forgive the typographical error there, some studies have shown that sodium benzoate, along with artificial food cooking, can cause children to have ADD, to be more hyperactive, and so forth. More toxic, sodium benzoate, than processed sugar or high fructose corn syrup. You can look at some of the cupcakes in your supermarket. You'll find it in there. And some of the cakes, I found it in there. Look it up for yourself. Read the labels. Protect your health. It's been linked to ADHD, cancer, weight gain, liver, and kidney disease. Aspartame, by far the most dangerous substance on the market that is added to foods. It was approved for dry good in 1981. It was approved for dry goods in 1981, approved for carbonated beverages in 1983. In sugar-free ice cream, it's in iced tea, jams, jellies, ice creams, toppings, sugar-free ketchup, cookies, and pudding. Keep a watch out. If it says sugar-free, it's probably going to have aspartame or a substance similar to it. Causes headaches, migraines, dizziness, seizures, nausea, muscle spasms, weight gains, rashes, depression, heart palpitations, breathing difficulties, vertigo, brain tumors, diabetes, birth defects. Who wants that kind of stuff in their body? My God. All right, I think we're about there. Brominated vegetable oils found in citrus flavored sodas such as Mountain Dew, Gatorade, originally patented as a flame retardant, produces reproductive and behavioral problems, to name a few. I didn't give you everything. I just gave a few. Think about it. Brominated vegetable oil. Please, by all means, read the labels to protect your number one wealth, your health. Antibiotics, 80% of them, we're talking about chemicals in our foods. 80% of them are put in animals that have no physical problems to make them fatter and grow faster. Organophosphate, made from World War II nerve gas, found in soy, corn, wheat, oats, causes behavioral problems, poor and short-term memory, poor motor skills, ADHD, and a wide range of mental disorders in children, cancer, developmental effects, Parkinson's disease. Found in fruits and vegetables commonly eaten by children, which include peaches, apples, green beans, peas, are foods most commonly contaminated with organophosphates. If you're not stirred after this, I don't know what to say, but I believe that you are. You're definitely going to be more conscientious and more aware of these items so you can make an informed decision. I just really pray that this has empowered you, stirred you to be on the watch out, to know what you're bringing into the house and having an awareness of how it affects us so that we will gear toward food in its natural state, the way our loving Creator gave it to us. So I want to encourage you, get those pure foods, read the labels. If it comes in a box, a can, a package, or simply if it has a label, by all means read the label for the sake of your health, the health of your family, and the people that you love. Thank you for being a part of this podcast again. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the Next Up podcast. And I look forward to seeing you next time, good people, on Next Up. Do have a blessed day.